I'm Jim Young, and I'm from Groton, Connecticut, and I'm here on behalf of the Elder Law section of the Connecticut Bar Association to express our conditional support for medical aid in dying Raise Bill 1076 with appropriate safeguards. Please note I've submitted written testimony, which includes 2 conditions to our support, which we request be added to the bill, which we hope could be done as the bill moves forward. One is we believe no caregiver should be a witness to a request for aid in dying. And second, we believe that the attending and consulting physicians should be independent of one another. This bill would give a qualified patient, as defined in this bill, the power and the option, if they choose to use it, to decide for themselves when they've suffered enough to end their lives without suffering through the entire debilitating and possibly painful natural disease process. As you all know, under Connecticut law now, generally speaking, one must endure the entire natural disease process, often with loss of control over one's body, the ability to meaningfully participate in life, and sometimes under severe pain or medications which materially impair the ability of mental functions. It doesn't have to be this way, and it's not this way in many other states which have adopted aid in dying laws. We believe the state should not interfere in the patient-doctor relationship, as this law does, except where there is some extraordinary power, some extraordinary overriding public policy goal to be achieved, and then only to the extent necessary to achieve that public goal. I note this new bill is substantially changed from the prior year's bills and adds a number of new safeguards. This new bill addresses the state's interest in preventing persons who are suffering from a psychological condition, including depression, that results in impaired judgment, from obtaining aid in dying by adding a requirement of counseling and barring aid in dying unless a counselor and the attending and the consulting physicians all determine the patient has capacity to make the decision. Also, there's a new provision in Section 21 of the bill that requires the attending physician to meet with the patient every 30 days after prescribing the medication to determine the patient remains competent or ensure proper disposal of the medication. Preventing suicide is a valid state interest, but it is wrong and misleading to equate suicide with aid in dying. The argument that medical aid in dying would lead to abuse of the disabled is simply not based on the real-world evidence of how these laws have worked for many years in the many other states that have them. There's no reason to think it would be any different here in Connecticut. Since we believe a qualified patient, as described in this bill, should have the right, if they choose to use it, to make decisions about these most personal decisions, we support medical aid in dying with appropriate safeguards.